I know you think it's nothing for us to worry about because it's never going to impact me as an individual, but that's not true. So, with a downgrade, government basically has to pay more money to service its debt costs. The cost of borrowing for us as a nation is increasing. What it means is South Africa is going to be paying more towards debt, and they already don't have enough to pay the interest portion of the debt. So, if they don't have enough, they're going to spend a lot less on social initiatives, on infrastructure, on education, on healthcare. Now, in order for the country to meet all of the various budgetary requirements, the funding has to happen somewhere. Government will have to increase revenue through higher taxes. But the effects of junk status don't just end at borrowing. A downgrade will most likely cause the rand to depreciate, which would make the importation of goods like oil a lot more expensive. This makes everything else a lot more expensive. And then when the expense of everything increases, inflation creeps in because things like oil and in some cases food, we have to buy them. And when inflation rises above the nominated threshold, the South African Reserve Bank steps in. They step in to increase the repo rate. So when the repo rate goes up, the individual cost that we have to pay for our bond, for our car, for our various consumer debt, that grows up. And when lenders, as banks, see a greater risk in borrowers defaulting, they increase premiums to compensate for the higher level of perceived risk. So South Africans are going to find it harder to qualify for new loans, to secure credit. Things are going to be more expensive for us, meaning that loans will be less of an option when finances are stretched. Now, what can you do to prepare for this? One, you got to start paying down as much as the consumer debt that you have. You have to get rid of it. If it has to come to it, you got to downgrade your lifestyle. Give up the extras. Give up the DSTV. Give up the gym, and all that fancy stuff. Just try and be as basic as you can because you're preparing to head into the storm. South Africa hasn't even hit the eye of the storm yet, mainly because we don't have a plan and government is so